Hello lovely friends, welcome back to Tarot AF. So today I have another pick a card reading for you all on what's so special about you. I'm super excited for this pick a card reading today. As you can tell, my voice is a little bit raspier. I have had a bit of a cold for like the last 2 weeks, but I'm coming out of it, so I thought today I was going to film despite it, so you know, if I need a drink of water or something, please do excuse that. But today we have 3 piles ready and waiting today to explore this question through tarot cards and oracle cards. So we have pile 1 with the amethyst butterfly, we have pile 2 with the raw amethyst crystal, and we have pile 3 with the amethyst heart. Yes, we've gone all amethyst today. I just felt that was the crystal that was calling to me. So what you can do, you can take a moment. It's basically pick a shape reading today. So pick your shape, and what I do is I post the times in the box below and you can skip ahead there to your reading. I will see you then. Bye. Hello my lovely friends of pile 1. So if you picked the amethyst butterfly, then this reading is going to be for you. Okay, so we have firstly the 1 archetype, we have the revolutionary, we have boundaries, we have wolf energy, and then in terms of tarot we've got 5 of pentacles, 10 of pentacles, the hanged one, and the ace of swords. So the first impression that I get from you is that you are not afraid to reinvent yourself. With this revolutionary, I feel like your spark, your energy, your fire, that is what leads you throughout. Maybe you're quite an intuitive person as well, or you go with your gut instincts. There's this kind of feeling of act first, think later, potentially, maybe in some of your decisions. But I think I feel like you let things boil up within you, as in terms of your passion, and maybe you don't share that actively with other people, and then maybe it seems impulsive from the outside that you've gone for something, but actually it's something that you've been sitting with for a while, and I think if it clicks with you, you're not afraid to go for it. And there is this real energy of, well, transformation for one, but also being kind of a leader of the pack. With the lone wolf, it's kind of like lone wolf energy in terms of maybe you can't identify loads of people which are like you, but your pack are very important to you, whether that's your family, your chosen family, your friends, whoever that be. They are the unconditional people that you will always protect. When I think of wolf, there's this image of wolves in a pack where the leader actually goes to the back of the pack to make sure everyone is moving along and that kind of thing. So there's kind of like there's one at the front leading in case of attack, and then one at the end to make sure everyone's kind of making their way. And I kind of think that's what I'm hearing for you guys, is that there's always that protection of your tribe, your people. And it's like with the boundaries, it's your ability to be able to say no to things that aren't love. Because I think that wolf energy is all really about love, about that activism, about that reliability, that dependability. And I think that's what you are like. I think you've got this strong instinct and very fearless. And with the 1 as well, this is such powerful energy, this archetype. And it's this feeling of being whole and realizing that you're neither important and unimportant. Like, you can be a drop in the ocean in this world, but then also you can impact and make so much change for people's lives around you. There's this real kind of power in knowing that, and sometimes those moments are fleeting, like those crisis moments where we have, but I think there's this kind of nobility within you of, I just get this sense that there's this kind of c'est la vie energy of like, what will be, and like what will be, sorry. And in your life, I feel like everything that belongs to you is going to make its way to you, is going to come to you. I feel like you've got that energy that you're kind of ready to take on whatever it is, as long as it comes to you in the bundle of love. I think maybe at one point there was fear and that kind of thing. Maybe known security was kind of ripped out from under you in the Five of Pentacles, maybe things that you were stringing along. This is such a beautiful metaphor through this card. Maybe the things that you were tying together, all the things that made up for you, maybe some things slipped. And then you realize actually that your home, you are the most powerful thing, and you hold everything within you already. And I think that's where you follow that spark, that love, and actually that's what you're building, is the home within you. If you are happy and proud and yourself and being authentic and true to that, that's where you shine, and that's your enlightenment. And I think you realize that you are the one. I get this really like healthy self-love energy from you, and that's where everything builds out from. If your internal world is aligned in that way, and you feel love and you feel that you are worthy, that reflects on your external situation. So maybe you put your walls up, maybe you had your boundaries, and maybe you said no to things that made you feel less in control, and now you realize that your home, everything you could ever have, want, or need, is already inside of you, and also the love around you that you have from others in your pack, like I was saying, in that tribe. With the Hanged One as well, I get this sense that, again, Hanged One, 12 is the number of fate, so maybe you prescribe to that, or it's like that energy of what belongs to me is going to come to me, it's going to find me. And there's this kind of, I'm not stepping still, I'm not stepping still, standing still, I'm here, I'm present, I feel joy, and I know that I'm going to be walking down the path that is right for me. I personally don't prescribe to the idea of fate. I believe much more in destiny, that we come to roadblocks or forks in the road, and you kind of can pick, because you have free will, whichever way you want to go, and then decisions cascade from there, and then we're met with more decisions that obviously fracture out. And I feel like there's that kind of sense within you of, people may think, oh, you know, what opportunity are you waiting for, or that kind of thing, but I think you're always just coming up with this mental expansion through this Ace of Swords, that you've always got plans that come to you, or ideas, and it's just how it sits well within you. And I think the opportunities are right, and I think in some ways I'm hearing like lack of known security and stepping into the unknown may excite you slightly, because it means that you can reinvent yourself and create new things through the revolutionary, but maybe you keep your ideas to yourself, or like I said, you let them bubble up and you formulate them in your plan, because you don't need kind of to justify yourself to anybody else. You know what is right within you, and you're going to follow that if you feel like that's what you want. But I just get this real energy of, and it's so interesting that you picked butterfly as well, which is that symbol of transformation and really coming out and of your, I would say shell, but that's not the right word, it's the cocoon, isn't it, for the butterfly. And so maybe you've really like weathered the storms, as it were, and had to be wrapped around in your tribe and be looked after. And I feel like maybe that's what you see for others as well, that you're always there to comfort your family, and like I said, those people, and really nurture those around you, and almost help them set their boundaries as well in motion. I feel like you're a great advice giver. I feel like you listen, you're patient with people, and there's that sense of, you know who is for you and you know what is for you. So it's not like I think there's this realization that your energy is a currency in a lot of ways, and that there's healthy give and take within relationships, and constantly, because you've got this power behind you, and I get this mind that just lights up and is really quite forward thinking. With the revolutionary, I'm just here, I heard Alexander Hamilton as soon as it popped out, but that's probably just song for, it's like, to the revolution, but that's probably why. But I just get this this really astute mind that can think around obstacles and cut corners, but not in the way of like cutting corners then making mistakes and that kind of thing, but just make leaps and bounds and jumps that maybe other people wouldn't be able to identify. So in a way, not to, you know, make you, you know, give you a massive head or anything, a big head, but I think you've got one of those minds that you could do anything. If you picked up any book, or if you decided that you wanted to change paths and go for something else, I feel like you could do it. Because but then it's that kind of thing, if that feeling fueled you, if you had that passion behind you, because, you know, there's no smoke without fire. I feel like you have all of the abilities to create anything you would want, any path, and carve that out for you. If you felt that instinct, if you felt that burning desire, you're not afraid to go it alone, work in a team with that wolf. I'm hearing, like I said, lone wolf, but also in a pack. I feel like you can identify and have those instincts to sniff out what is right. But maybe for some people, there are these boundaries, these walls, maybe that are quite high up, maybe through hurts in the past, maybe loss of some security in some way. And I feel like it's a heavy thing with boundaries, because everyone should have their own boundaries of what energy they will and won't accept. And maybe if you are confronted with that energy and having to say the magic of no, that can be a really hard thing sometimes to do and to train yourself to do. But I feel like that is something that you're coming to terms more with, and that's where that's feeling of being special is that, you know, like I said, what is right for you and what energy is right for you, and that doesn't mean that happens overnight. Sometimes we still pick things that we know we shouldn't do, or we know that path is not necessarily going to further us but helps others, but I think being able to identify our boundaries and reassess them constantly is something that you should be proud of, and that is a special quality to have, of when you know or when you think you might be burned out by something, but also to protect your ideas and what you have, the way that you think, to be able to protect your mind and your plans and your energy, because not everyone may understand your mind, not everyone may understand the path that you maybe see the potential in, but if you feel that love, if you feel that wholeness to an idea, that connectivity, then I feel like you know within yourself that is for you, and things, like I was kind of saying, things happen for a reason, and I think you've kind of got that mentality of, if things have gone wrong in the past, if obstacles have come or things have fallen away, it's led you to this moment in time for a reason. So the opportunities and possibilities in this moment are endless, and there's that freedom in that way of thinking, but also in that way of being, that you can be one of the earth, and wolf is earth energy, so potentially you have earth in your chart, so Virgo, Capricorn or Taurus. You don't have to, but maybe there's that kind of that natural flow, that natural instinct with the earth, and just the world, the universe in general, that things are happening for you and not to you, that obstacles come up so that you can learn healthy boundaries and that you can find your new way, your new path, all towards this Ten of Pentacles, leaving a legacy. I feel like that is a massive drive for you, whether that's through family, through providing for your family and like being that hunter, that instinctual hunter, and looking after the pack, and leaving that, or I mean with a revolutionary mind, someone who invents something or brings something about which then leaves a legacy for the future, for future generations. I feel like that's the stamp that you want to make, even if it's just on the lives of the immediate, like in the one, whether that's a big impact that helps lots of people, or whether it's your just immediate chosen family, either way it's still that energy of wanting to bring about change for others, to better others and move other people with this amazing mind that you have. So I want to get you some cards as well from the Work Your Light Oracle deck. So hello. Oh, this is so funny because I was just talking about this. The ever-unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. I literally just said those words. Obviously Spirit knew that it was going to come up. So it feels like there may have been this significant event that kind of cracked you open, or that cocoon bursting open in a lot of ways. And I think it's like the ever unfolding mystery of the rose, of love as well. Rose is that is a symbol of love in a lot of ways. And I feel like it's just, love is ever cascading. There's so many roots to it. And I feel like there's this cracked open within your heart in a lot of ways. And do realise that it's happening for you, and all those things, all those obstacles that you've had to overcome, all those opportunities that always flow, all those new ideas come to you for a reason. And so it's you are on the ride. As in, like, you're the party leader, moving the ride along. You're not just along for the ride on the roller coaster. We've also got awakening, energetic updates, a new way of being, integration. So I feel like I said, this may have been something that changed. Maybe there was a pivot moment for you where you realized that known security wasn't something that you wanted, or you just reevaluated what was important in a lot of ways. Maybe if you were on a path that then fell away. And I think there's always these energy updates, and within you, that instinct, that fire that we were talking about, that burning desire to do things and be things, and those new thoughts that come up, those new things that spark, that's all about reinventing yourself and awakening. When new energy awakens within you, balancing out with where the path you're currently on, and then just making that decision. But I feel like Spirit is always trying to contact you, maybe through signs, if you prescribe to that, asking for signs, or maybe through your gut, that voice inside of you that whispers sometimes, that intuition. So I feel like maybe you could be awakening to that in some way, especially with the one, that wholeness. Maybe you are spiritual, or follow the cycles. Maybe you follow cycles of the moon, or that kind of thing. Maybe you manifest. But I feel like there is this support from the universe for you, which maybe you feel like you're awakening to in some way. We've also got dance with life. Do something to change your energy. And I feel like that is with the dance of life, that's the kind of, it's happening for you, not to you, that things are coming up in your life for a reason, and you can always reinvent yourself and find your instincts and change your energy, change the course if that's what you want to do. But there's that thing, and what we've been threading through the whole time is this love is the thing to pick. And maybe at one point in your life you subscribe to more to fear, seeing the world through the lens of fear, and maybe you're fearful of things slipping away, because in a lot of ways, a lot of our fears, maybe not like the fear of spiders and stuff like that, but like fears, for me, a lot of my deep-seated fears are all to do with having the absence of love. So fear of abandonment is, fear of not having that community, that love around you. They're not always so simple as that, but for me, a lot, when I'm identifying, a lot of it is lack of love. And I feel like maybe you've had that, like I said, that pivotal moment, that switch, where maybe you realise that living in that fearing the unknown and all the things that could go wrong, maybe you were like, actually, if I look at it in terms of, look at all the possibilities, look at the endless possibilities that life was throwing at me, what could I be? Who could I be? That love of the possibility of changing your energy, I feel like that's what makes you so special, is seeing through that lens, because not everyone wakes up to that and maybe awakens to that energy, and it's something that you still have to train yourself to do, because life is full of traps, it's full of obstacles that come up that make us fear things, and just know that spirit is there, the universe is there to dance with you, to tell you, to whisper to you through that intuitive voice. If you feel like your mind is screaming, that's the difference. You know, words, thoughts, your mind, fear, that screams, whereas energy and intuition whispers. So still your mind, still yourself, and realize that you have awoken. And I feel like there is that freedom, that bursting open from an old way into a new way. But you've got such a great energy, such a great capacity for love and to bring about the things that you want to do, because love is what drives you. And that's so special. And it's all from that place of love and wanting to do good things that then awaken others or help others. And that's such beautiful energy. So my glorious friends of Pile 1, I'm going to leave that reading there for you guys today. I hope it resonated with you. I hope you realise, please, how special you truly are, how unique you are, and how unique your mind is and your energy. So my glorious friends, I'm going to leave that there for you today. If you'd like to see me again, hopefully less croaky voiced, please do hit that subscribe button. I'd love to see you guys there. I'm sending so much love, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hello, my lovely friends of Pile 2. So if you picked the raw amethyst crystal, then this reading is going to be for you. So we have the Eternal Child, we have the Weaver, Ascension, we have a Camel, we also have the Wheel of Fortune, Five of Wands, Hierophant, and also the Justice card. So where to start? So I kind of want to start with Camel. And Camel is represented by fire, but there's so much water here as well, which I feel like ties everything together, which is why I want to start here. I feel like there's potentially a lot of heat around you a lot of the time, or maybe that's pressures, maybe that's other people's opposing wills and desires in a lot of ways, or maybe you just feel the heat of possibilities that life holds, and you're able to really perfectly balance, or maybe not always perfectly, maybe it's something that you've been working on, or maybe it's something that you just do naturally, just have that talent for, of finding that joy and that eternal child, to find all of those possibilities, what sparks that within you, that magic in life. And I feel like you're able to almost, with this child energy, temper that with the water. And so maybe you've got fire and water placements, or maybe you have one, but fire maybe Leo, Sagittarius or Aries, and maybe with water Cancer, Pisces or Scorpio. I know, well, for me, I'm fire sun and then water moon, so that really, like, I feel like I resonate with you guys a lot if that is you in some way, but you don't have to have those at all. But with this Eternal Child, it's like finding the heat of possibilities, but being able to then ground that and look within and balance that out within your emotions and where that lives within your spiritual body. I get the sense that you guys are quite spiritual maybe, or you just have this kind of ability to live every day in faith that you're going to make the right decisions, that you're going to ascend above the heat that you may feel from other people. I feel like there's this kind of water of a duck's back is what I'm hearing in terms of the Five of Wands. Like maybe there's constantly people telling you what you should do or where you should be and all those should directives, and you're able to just filter that out, and with the Weaver really cut your own path, see all the chords in your life and woven together, that makes you unique, all of the decisions that you make, and that's empowering. But also there's always stuff coming at us, and do you cut free? Do you ascend out of some of those cords if they're no longer working for you? And with this ascension as well, this is really this wholeness and connectivity to spirit and to your intuition. And maybe this is something that you feel like you've cracked open. Maybe you feel like you are still connecting to, or maybe it's something that you feel like you should be doing more of in a way. Maybe because I feel like there could be a lot of success in your life in terms of your earthly world, your physical world, all those kind of chords that you have going. And all of that is through the work that you've done, through the output that you put in the past that has now got you to this present moment. And that's being honest and truthful with yourself, and it's you stepping up to the game of life and really taking that role and being like, I'm here, I'm ready to spin it. And with that wheel of fortune, that is all about, you know, change and the reaction to change. And I feel like you have this ability to do that, see that fire, see that change, and see where that works for you and where you fit that in, and really internalize that change and accept it for what it is. And that's all about stepping up to the game, because change can come at you and it's voluntary, like whether you let it happen then or whether you're resistant to it and then it happens involuntarily. So I feel like there's this kind of bird's eye view maybe of your life, that you can kind of see everything, kind of like how I'm looking down at your reading. I feel like you can see all the aspects of you, of what makes up you, really perfectly, and you're able to heal what needs healing at that time, or what needs cutting. And I feel like you're just really good at getting a ground on yourself and listening to yourself of what you actually need in that moment. And with the Hierophant as well, I feel like you could be, obviously there's a spirituality element that I've said about living in faith every single day, but maybe there's also this feeling within you that you maybe unlock a lot of and inspire a lot of people around you. Because I've kind of got this with the Eternal Child, that it can link sometimes to kind of fame and being an influencer, but whether that's influencing other people around you and almost opening them up to different ways of thinking and being, and really kind of being a teacher in that way. Maybe that resonates with you. If it doesn't, leave that. But I feel like there's this, even if you're not a teacher, as it were, but maybe you, through being fearless, through ascending and through connecting to that spirit and really looking internally and focusing not so much on the external, even though I feel like you have a lot to show for all your work and everything. I feel like you're able to, in that moment, rebalance yourself and find that and address any imbalances that may be there. Because, you know, sometimes we can get caught up in our external world so much that we forget our spiritual practice or to check in with ourselves. So I feel like there's this really good kilter that you have, because you know that the present moment and all the options that you have and all the possibilities in front of you, everything that you sow now, those positive intentions, that love, all of those things are going to come back at you, because you've already seen the effects of what your past can do to your present moment as well. So I feel like there's this just really good connectivity with the whole, and that's you being whole, that you are your wholeness, that you don't need to seek outside validation for anything, because you know other people can push their agenda, they can put heat on you, they can say, oh, you should do that, you should say this. But I feel like there's this, no matter what the humdrum of what everything is going on, you know that some people are, like I said, pushing their agenda, pushing their fears onto you, pushing their own desires. And sometimes we do get caught and tangled in other people's kind of in what they're chasing or what they want, and sometimes we feel like we're kind of caught up in a storm of it. But I feel like you're really able to cut through, cut through and see what is for you and what isn't for you, and identify that within the people, because maybe they're not trying to throw you off or anything like that. Just sometimes we inadvertently give advice, or we ask for advice, but sometimes what people say to us, it doesn't actually resonate. Just as like what I say in my readings, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And if it doesn't resonate with you, I feel like you have this filter where you're able to filter your world through this tempering with the water, into what makes you you. So you can take all the nuggets, all the seeds of what you need and ascend even further, taking what you need, taking that nutrients and those resources forward, all those experiences, and leaving everything else behind. Because like we were saying, being able to nurture what is right for you in that present moment, and addressing those imbalances of whether that's listening to people too much, not listening to yourself enough. Like I said, I feel like you've got this bird's eye view on your life, and maybe at one point in your life you felt really down on your luck or something like that, or maybe you feel like you needed an opening into a new way of thinking or something like that. And I think you unlocked that within yourself, of connecting to this internal, it's eternal as in forever child, that we all have within us, but also your inner child as well, and realizing that you can lead with that. You can lead with that joy, that excitement, seeing the world through curiosity and magic and possibilities, and being able to follow your heart in that playful, creative way, and almost discovering things anew for the first time, and seeing where that sits with you as new opportunities come up. But there's this also kind of grown adult, as it were. They always say, you've got the child and you've got that adult within you. The child reaches and the adult kind of pulls back when it's needed and necessary. And I feel like you've just got that, and I feel like you understand that within yourself, that you'll always we don't always make the right decisions, but I feel like you're going to make the right decisions for you in that present moment. And that is so special, is to be able to go with that instinct and know what is right for you when it comes. And I think you've just, like I said, got this infectious energy which people around you are just drawn to and can't get enough of. And I feel like you unlock a lot by just being yourself, by being authentic and free, and by knowing what's for you and cutting out that which doesn't serve you. I feel like there's this kind of like no bull filter on you, where you're just like, if it's not working for me, I'm gonna cut it, because what's the point of wasting my energy, wasting my time on something that I no longer need? And why am I spending my energy there when I should be re-listening to myself or finding something new? It's that if it's not working, try again, find a new angle, find a new perspective. And I feel like that shift maybe came through a kind of like feeling down on your luck, or maybe you felt like you didn't have the energy to play the game, have the energy to spin the wheel. And everyone gets to that point, but it's how you get back up. And I feel like you've got back up more than maybe you even expected that you could. So I want to get some more cards as well from this Work Your Light Oracle deck. So Spirit, what else? What else do you have for my friend? So we have Keepers of the Earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand behind you. So I feel like, again, it's this kind of eternal flow with the universe, and that, there's this kind of everything that you have is already inside you with this eternal child and that adult, like I was saying. But your intuition and that spirituality, I feel like if you've woken up to that, or maybe you feel like you're more inclined to explore it, like realizing that there's that you have such a heavy spiritual team behind you who are always there, who are always willing to give you signs, to give you advice when you can't see the avenue that you need to go at. And also there's this kind of, the earth is for you, all the possibilities, the universe, all the things that come up for you are for you to take advantage of, to balance out within yourself, to see what works for you. You could be anything, be anyone, and I feel like you've got a strong team behind you, willing you, and giving you advice if you so want it and need it. So maybe that's listening, if, like I said, you're deepening your spiritual practice, maybe that's taking that time to listen, to meditate on all those things. We've also got the Great Gathering. It's all coming together, intuitive hits, soul tribe. So yeah, again, the Great gathering of your spiritual team maybe, or that feeling of being able to have that bird's eye view of your life in a lot of ways. Like I feel like maybe a lot of the things maybe you're weaving together or you're cutting away from is bringing you closer to this feeling of where you want to go. And with soul tribe as well, linking to the Aerophant, this kind of awakening, like I said, living faith in every day, and maybe you awaken people to a new way of thinking, or maybe you feel like you are unlocking deeper secrets within yourself, and almost with that soul tribe, finding your people, maybe the people that don't push their agenda and allow you to not feel like you're always constantly above it, like you're constantly fighting it. It's like you're there, you're ascending to that moment. But with that Great Gathering as well, I feel like maybe all the threads in your life, like I was saying, maybe are all kind of interweaving and clicking into place, and maybe it feels like there's this kind of great fortune on your doorstep. But that's again what's so special about you, is that you can maybe even see that or feel that that's happening, and through this intuitive hits, again, intuition, spirituality, that all comes from the work that you put into your internal world, because that reflects your external. And with intuitive hits, definitely your spiritual team trying to get a hold of you, or maybe you feel really in touch with them, and you're like, yeah, they're talking to me all the time. But if not, maybe it's time to ask for signs, ask to see signs from your spiritual team. So Spirit, what else do you have? We have protection, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. So again, there's this kind of, with the cut the cords, when I was saying you had this bird's eye perspective, maybe at the moment you feel caught up in like an old cycle of maybe where you were. Maybe you feel like you're not focusing enough on your spirituality. And when I mean spirituality, that's your higher consciousness, that's yourself, that's your intuition, your gut instincts, your eternal child. And there's this kind of protection element. And amethyst is the stone of the reading, and that is protection, grounding. And I feel like there's this kind of calling back your power, to cut the cords of the things that you don't need to expend your energy on, whether that's be within relationships. And that can be a quite harsh thing to realize, but maybe if you're not getting the give and take that you deserve within a relationship, whether that be through work, whether that be with another person, whatever it is, your energy is a resource, and you need to be putting it into the right things and cut the cords of that, and put those boundaries up of the things that aren't fueling that within you, in order to take time to listen to yourself, listen to your soul and what that's calling you to do. So maybe you feel like you do that constantly, and that's what's special about you, is that you're able to always go back to your power and your needs, and realize that they are necessary and also warranted, all of the things that you want to create. And that's truly beautiful stuff, is to put yourself first unapologetically, because if you don't fill up yourself first, you can't extend that to other people anyway. So there's that feeling of listening to that inner child, that eternal child, of what you need, what you want, what is going to make you feel creatively expansive and emotionally too. And that's all about your soul retrieval. And if you don't feel like there's people in your life that and you don't feel like you've identified all of your soul tribe yet, or maybe you have only a really select few, remember all of the ancestors behind you that are looking after you, but also that like attracts like, and being yourself, being a beacon for what you want and who you are, and protecting yourself above all, and being powerful in yourself, that is going to attract the great gathering of all the things, whether that's external things, like I said, within job, work, home life, or just friends, whatever it is. If you're being authentic and true to your light, which I feel like is something that you always try and choose now, that is just going to attract more. So keep protecting your energy, keep being you, don't compromise in any way, and that's what's so special, is maybe you can identify that, or maybe that is resonating and hitting, and maybe you want to do more of that. So keep going, trust yourself, trust your instincts, because like I said, you've got everything within you that you need in order to create the earthly success that you want, but also the spiritual success of raising yourself higher to your spiritual path. So my glorious friends of pile 2, I'm going to leave this reading here for you guys today. I loved reading your cards. Your energy is beautiful, and you guys are so special as well. So I'm sorry I've been a bit raspy and a bit croaky today. Hopefully if you do join me again, please do hit that subscribe button if you'd like to. I am less raspy, but until then, I'm sending so much love to you all. See you later. Bye. Hello my lovely friends of pile 3. So if you picked the Amethyst Heart, then this reading is going to be for you. So firstly, we have the Creator archetype, we have Manifest and Release, we also have Lizard energy, we have Champion of Wands, Keeper of Cups, Champion of Swords, and also the Fool. So firstly, we have a lot of fire energy here, so Leo, Sagittarius or Aries. We've also got water and also air too, but I get the sense that maybe fire could be quite heavy in your chart. If it's not, don't worry. Like I said, there's other signs here that doesn't necessarily need to speak true to you. But what I really want to talk about first is this Manifest and Release, and this is so special in terms of attributes that you have. I think it's so interesting, manifesting in a moon and also releasing in a moon. Like manifesting within a full moon is quite a powerful time, and then releasing in a new moon. And I feel like there's just this cycle that you understand, and this connectivity with the universe and with within maybe your own spiritual practice, or whatever you connect to in terms of the divine spirit, whatever you see that it as, and whatever name rings true to you. I feel like there is this connection to it where you realize that sometimes paradoxically we need that release, that lack of, that empty room as it were, in order to create, and that be our canvas to then create and manifest, and that your life is actually the canvas, and you can create what you want out of the materials that you have. And actually you have so much within you in order to manifest that path. And there's this feeling of real connectivity to spirit. So if you don't feel like that resonates with you, maybe go back to the beginning and pick another pile. But I do get this sense that there may even be this element of telepathy, that you know what is meant for you, and you can almost instinctually feel the path almost before it happens. And this Keeper of Cups, this feels like there's this maybe a bit of a daydreamer quality to you, but actually it's all grounded in that creativity, that actually you see what is in front of you in that moment in time and can conjure up from those materials, no matter what it is, no matter if it doesn't feel like there is lots, and create a new beginning, create that new path, and trust that it's for you, and take those leaps and jumps that maybe other people wouldn't expect you to, in order to manifest creatively what you want. And there's this feeling of charging forward, charging towards where your intuition leads you, and really speaking your truth, with the Champion of Wands and the Champion of Swords both together. That fire and air energy really ignite one another and makes it such a catalyst. It's like when you walk in a room, there's this special quality about you where people are drawn to you, drawn to your eye, and want to hear what you have to say, because it's from this place of, I feel like there's this really brilliant way, this concise way that you're able to speak your truth and tell others your plan, and almost get people on board with what you're thinking and feeling. There's no kind of gatekeeping involved. I think you're quite unabashed, unapologetically yourself, and you can kind of take charge and move through and show your skills, show how much you can direct your pure thought energy and intuition into any product, like to make any product, anything that you wish out of that moment. But it's all from this deeper knowing with this Keeper of Cups, like this deeper emotional knowing of what is for you. And again, there's this sense of following your heart in all matters, and that is that instinct of also releasing what you don't need anymore, which quite resonates to pile 2 as well. So if you were drawn there, maybe that was the thing. But it's about taking all of the experiences that you've learnt in your life and better informing what you create in the future. And you're not letting them rule you at all. You carry every single experience with you, but you release the weight of them. So you through that learning and understanding, you realize that they make up you. They have put you onto this path. You can trust and have faith that you are going to go towards a new beginning, that you can take those leaps and bounds, those leaps of faith, and trust with the spirit on your side that you can co-create and manifest what you want. And you can be a lightning rod for that. And maybe people feel like you're a bit of a wild card in that way, but because a lot of people take their baggage, their emotional, their physical, whatever it is, with them and allow them to it to be a burden and bog them down. Whereas I feel like you pack lightly, as it were. You're like, if I don't need it, then I'm not gonna take, like, I'm not gonna allow it to have that weight. Like, I'll remember through those experiences that I had, all that I learnt, but that's not going to stop me from following my instincts and follow that raw energy where I find it. And maybe sometimes, as with anyone, we can get bogged down in what other people are thinking or feeling, and other people's thoughts can feel like they trample over us in some way. And maybe sometimes people's fears and anxieties, what they project onto us. But I feel like you're not going to be you're not going to allow anyone to put a stampede on you. I think there's this ability to withdraw back into yourself and go back into that kind of daydreamer quality and put the lid on it if you need to. Like, I think you're an open book. If it feels right in that moment, and that's where that flows, it flows out of you, that love for what you do and what you speak, that comes in bucket loads. And like I said, I feel like you just draw people to you, that special energy of what are they going to create next, what are they going to do next, because I feel like it's almost like you've always got your pulse on the money. And that doesn't mean like, or like you've always got your finger on the money, that's the expression, but like you just know what's right for you and what's going to be the best avenue for you, because you listen to yourself and you allow yourself to be still and take the path that you feel like is your creative outlook, that artistically is going to ignite you. Because with any like canvas, like we were talking about, any art piece, it comes from within, but also there's this kind of, like I said, co-creation, that you are going to be supported by spirit, by the divine, for what you want to create and what you want to manifest. And everything that is meant for you is going to find its way to you, and all the desires that you want are yours now. Like, even if you don't have all the materials, that you can make those materials out of what you do have. And I just want to talk about like the color as well on this spread, but with the lizard colors and the creator colors, it just feels like a really like colorful explosion of different things that ignite your soul. And I think being a colorful person, a life lived where you are unafraid to go for things and blend different elements of yourself together, there is that special quality where you're unafraid to have all these facets of yourself which you embrace fully, and yeah, all of them make up you. And that's what makes you special, is all of your experiences are unique, and you treat yourself as a unique individual. So you're not going to fit into anyone else's box, what they want you to be or what you should be. Like, I feel like if you were to have a job role, as it were, maybe you're not in a kind of job description role, but if you are, I feel like you're like, oh, okay, that's the loose guidelines of what I do, but actually this is my flair, this is my creative flair, which I put on top of it, because that's me, that's what makes me unique. And you're kind of like your own product. Like, you know how to sell yourself in a beautiful way, like sell your skills as, this is my heart, I can be, and I'm going to show you it if you give me the opportunity to create and be unique. And I think there's almost this F the fear quality to you. Like, what's the point of being in fear? What's the point of there's no point of holding on to those things. Step into that unknown. Keep going. Keep seeing the future of where you want to be. And that's not living in the future. That's looking at the present of what you've got and how that can kind of, how that propels you forward. And that's all the raw materials inside you, like I've already said. So my glorious friends, I'm going to get some more oracle cards for you from this Work Your Light oracle deck. So Spirit, what else for my friends? So trust the niggle. What is that niggling feeling trying to tell you? So like I was saying already, that intuition, that deeper knowing, that thing, that whisper. And that's the thing, the difference. And maybe you've discovered this, or maybe you're starting to rely on it more, that intuition within you, that whispers. That's something where we have to still our mind. We have to block out external things and really trust that instinctual feeling. And I feel like you have that connectivity to spirit, but sometimes we can get caught up in things. We can lose sight of that feeling, and we maybe don't feel connected as much, especially maybe in that lack, like I was saying, that darkness, or that paradoxically when we don't feel like we have everything together. That's where we can then create something new and create that hope of the future, and create that fullness that we want to manifest. So trust that niggle of where that's taking you, and like I said, those leaps and bounds that maybe you can make that maybe others can't. What's that feeling within you? What's that daydreamer telling you to go for, or that deep connection to spirit, that unity with that self? Because that's your power speaking to you. And sorry, and our words and thoughts and all of those things in our head, they scream at us. That inner critic voice can go crazy and tell you, no, that's not for you, don't be doing that. But maybe your internal whisper is telling you the opposite, and that's your fear talking, as opposed to that niggle, that love, that deep set knowing of what is for you and what you can create and what you can do, that kind of hype person inside of you, through spirit. We've also got Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, the divine plan. So like I was saying, starting from those raw materials, starting from that foundation, from the beginning, starting new phases, and trusting that it's all the things that you're planting in this moment, and all the things that you are creating in this moment, or you start blending together, are going to have that outcome. And trusting that path, trusting that you're setting yourself up for success all the time. Even if you're in this release mode, you're releasing those things that aren't going to help you on your next facet of your journey. And also with the Anna, grandmother of Jesus, I'm hearing about, leaving that legacy, leave it with that manifest card as well, that leaving that wealth of experience. And like I said, I feel like you draw people to you in a lot of ways. So maybe there's that of your energy inspires others and uplifts others, and also lays foundations within people to look at their light and what they're creating. And in a world of maybe darkness, your energy shines through as well, like through that creator card as well. There's that kind of not fearing the dark, because there's always that hope. So let's also get one more card for my friend spirit. So we have the ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. This is one of my favorite cards. And I feel like you are constantly through this Fool as well, you know, being that wild card, being that new beginning, cracking that open, cracking the case, as it were, of, and that's kind of like releasing the old in with the new. Like, it's happening for you. All of these opportunities, all the things that you are creating, all the sights that you see ahead, that niggling feeling, that trust, that unity, that's all happening for you to be on your divine plan, for you to co-create with spirit and manifest the life that you want. And your willpower, your courage, your determination, all of those things, that action towards what you want, that is something that you do. That's not just happening to you. You don't just get up and just start doing things for no reason. Like, you have that feeling within you that that's right, or that's what you want to do. And that's what's special, is that you feel that maybe even in times where you don't always, you can always like where you don't feel that connectivity. Like, if you look within yourself and you listen to that voice, you'll always find your way home, always find your way to the things that are meant for you. And realize that not things aren't happening to you. Like, you have to have that action to go towards the things that you want and challenge the status quo and all of those things. And maybe that's a realization within you that actually no one else is going to live your life. You are going to do it, and you create what you want. And then there's that feeling of control there. Like, yes, things can happen on a divine plan, but you co-create. You can't just sit back and expect things to happen for you, because that's not the way. You realize that if you want something, that you've got to go out and get it. And that's powerful, because some people, there can be that just kind of getting caught on the hamster wheel of life, of thinking that they're doing the things that they want, when actually, and being active, but actually they're not acting towards their deepest goals. They're just kind of surviving. They're in survival mode. Whereas there's this feeling for you that I get, which is so special, this quality of, I'm going to act towards the things that I know instinctually that I want, where my courage and my willpower take me, my intuition. And that can be scary, stepping into that unknown space. And it's not an easy life, but that's where you create the things that are right for you. And that's where you co-create with spirit, because you are on your spiritual calling, because you are talking to yourself, you're listening to yourself, and you're manifesting what you want, and your deepest knowing of what you want. And that's not greedy or anything. That's you listening to yourself and realizing how you can uplift others. Like I said, seeding that light, showing other people your light, and inspiring other people around you too. So maybe that's something that you are leaning more into, but I feel like it's actually something that's why we're exploring it. Something so special about you is that maybe even if you don't realize it, there's that difference within you, that actually you're not afraid to listen to your heart and follow that, and open up in that way. Kind of surrender your ego's plan of what you think you need to the divine plan of listening to that niggle, listening to where your instincts go. And you know, the Rolling Stones song, can't always get what you want, but you get what you need. Like, spirit is giving you what you need. And I feel like that's that intuition, that voice is what you need, all that nurturing, that counsel. And within you, you know that's right. And even if other people don't necessarily understand that, you're always willing to create with that feeling, because that's where that hope is, that's where that colour and that vibrancy is. So my glorious friends of pile 3, I'm going to leave that reading there for you guys today. You completely unique and gorgeous individual. I loved reading your cards today. I'm so sorry about the croaky voice. Hopefully, if you'd like to see me again soon, hit that subscribe button. I will be less croaky for you all. But I am sending so much love as always. And I really hope to see you guys again soon. And there we go. Sending love. Bye.